That's excellent. You mentioned just a bit ago that you felt like everything you had done before you decided to start teaching had somewhat been related. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that, and how you felt prepared to be a teacher before that?
Sure. Well, when I was at Fort Ord, I was a basic training company commander. Part of my job was to instruct the trainees in military history, military justice, military courtesy, things like that. And we did so in a large auditorium, and and so it was just me on the stage in the large auditorium with several hundred trainees out in the audience, and I'm thinking maybe close to 1,000 because the auditorium was pretty filled. It wasn't just my company, but it was other companies as well. And they were out there, and they were, the training, basic training was very arduous, and so a lot of them were falling asleep. And I'm going to relate this one story real quickly. And I noticed that they were falling asleep. And so I just kept talking in the same tone of voice I'm talking now. And I said, okay, if you can hear my voice, I'm going to yell into the microphone, on your feet. And I says, if you can hear my voice, do not stand up. Just stay in your seat. I said, some people here are snoozing and I want to wake them up. And so I did that. And about half the audience quickly stood on their feet at attention. And I just kind of laughed. I said, okay, guys, I know you're tired. Just kind of hang in there with me. Got a little bit longer to go. So, but there was things like that, that you're always doing. Of course, when you're back in the company area, you're always teaching them how to march and things like that. The drill instructors did the preponderance of teaching. But whatever chance I had, I always enjoyed, jumping in and doing that myself too. Oh, and then that was at Fort Ord. And then Vietnam, of course, as an advisor, I had a lot of opportunities to teach not only the military stuff, but I also taught an ESL class, English as a second language, to Vietnamese officers and NCOs. When I got at the latter part of my tour there, I got reassigned back up to province headquarters and was working out of there. And that was great fun. I had a wonderful time there. And again, a quick story on that. I remember one of my favorite assignments to give to the Vietnamese was to tell me a Vietnamese folk story in English at our next meeting. They were assigned, the meetings. I think we met once or twice a week. And it gave them a chance to learn English and to share with me part of their culture and folklore. So I thought that was really fun too. I enjoyed that.